Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. And today, I plan on going ahead and trying to tame up some Cryolophosaurus today. I definitely want to get one, but if I can go ahead and get a pair, I would really like to go ahead and accomplish that. And I'd also like to go ahead and take them out and just see what they've done to them. It's been a very long time since I've gotten one of these back in ASE, so I'm very excited to see what they've done to them in ASA. I have learned that they did change their taming method a little bit. It's still relatively similar and requires you to go ahead and knock them out without standard tranquilization methods, but it definitely seems to be, I honestly would say, a little bit easier, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll see how it goes when I actually go ahead and find one. I don't think I've actually found a good level one of these guys yet, so not exactly sure where I'm gonna find one. But I believe that they can be found on the mountains, and if I remember correctly, they were also around where I ended up taming my mana, so I'll have to head over there. I think they're also on the very east side of the map, so yeah, I'll have to run around and try and find them a little bit, but yeah, I'm hoping that we can get some of them. They're pretty nice, and they're really good for knocking things out, so might be helpful in the future if I decide to go ahead and tame anything that's a knockout tame. I don't really have anything in mind too much, but I recently did tame a Theory that came out with some pretty decent damage, so I might try using Theories as a backup option for fighting the boss, assuming that all other options that I attempt don't really work. I'd like to have a backup that works just in case my main option doesn't, which I think was one of the main issues that I had in Valguero, is my main option for fighting Grendel just wasn't really good at fighting Grendel, so I really should have had a backup, but I didn't. Just want to check every side on. I think I've seen some around here on this side of the mountain, so yeah, there we go, there's one. What do we have? Hold on. Just get down here. I don't know if they'll attack a mana, so I want to be really careful. I probably should have brought some stimulant now that I think about it, but I don't have any, so hopefully we'll be okay. Hold on, what's going on? Oh, that's vulnerable. Let's see. That's a Serrata fighting a Megaraptor. I thought I saw something here. Wonder if it's falling down the mountain chasing something. No, those look like it's just Carnos. Just hop back up here, and okay, yeah, I think that it's gone somewhere else, and yeah. Alright, I'll have to just keep, oh, wait. Oh, let's see what we have. 25. Not great. We'll have to quickly take it out. Didn't seem to tank a lot, so I guess that's good. Was low level, but still, I feel like it should have been able to take a little bit more damage. Yeah, it might take me a while to find one, so I won't keep you guys around too long if it takes forever, but, yeah, I guess we'll just keep on going. I haven't been able to get another Desmodus yet. I didn't really have time to go ahead and work on that much, so I would like to get another one eventually, but honestly, the one that I have is more than good enough for making sanguine elixirs. I used one of those to tame the Theory I was talking about, because Theories just take a very long time to tame with berries, and honestly, I didn't really want to wait, so I kind of just drained that extra bison I had of all the blood that it had and just used some of the blood packs to make a sanguine elixir. I don't think we're going to use one for the cryo, simply because, from what I understand, I should be able to tame it with just a couple biotoxin, and oh, we actually have 1 for 5 right there. Hold on, I need to go ahead and make sure that we are going to be okay. What I understand, it's nice to lead them to a wide open area, so I'm gonna have to find a way to get them off of the hill. I might try seeing if I could pick it up with my Desmodus, because that might be helpful. I'd like to be able to pick it up with something, because I want to try putting it in a trap, just to make it a little bit safer. see if it'll come down here on its own, or if I'm gonna have to find a way to kite it down here. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to be a little bit more persuasive. This is a relatively decent area, but I'd like a little bit more room. Definitely afraid of these guys, though, because one spit, and that's enough to knock me out, so I'm gonna be really careful. Looks like it's starting to fall down. Ever so slowly. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. To quickly avoid that. Okay, I think we're ready. So, I forgot my RG, but I think Desmodus can pick up much of what an RG can. Actually, no. It's been a while, so I don't think that it's going to be able to. Just quickly apply this level. Where'd it go? Okay, it's still up there. I'm just going to quickly take out these Dialos. Alright, let's construct something really quickly. I think I can just make a basic 2x2 trap should work. It'd help if all the snow went away so I could see exactly what we're working with here. I'm gonna put this up. Oh. There we go. Okay. I guess I'll just have to go ahead and... Sorry. I guess I'll just have to go ahead and lead in through front. Hopefully it'll just follow my mana. Little poke. I'll make sure my Veil one's on passive. There we go. Come on, buddy. Get down here. Alright, this is a male, so we'll need to get a female. Oh boy, here we go. Come on. I need it to get into the trap and stop spitting. This spirit's gonna knock my Veil one out. Okay, there we go. That's our shot. Okay, successfully trapped. Okay, that should keep him from being able to attack me. Alright. Next step. Okay, I think we're okay. Next step, I want to make a, sleeping bag. I'm a little bit concerned that he's not going to be able to shoot through the, doors, but we'll see. Alright. Place this down, and I guess I should probably go ahead and explain the taming method a little bit, so anyone who doesn't know can learn. What you need to do is you need to get these guys, and they have two specific ranged attacks. They have an Ice Breath, and then they have a Cryo Spitball. And you need to deflect the Cryo Spitballs with a shield in order to go ahead and knock them out. But you also need to avoid the Ice Breath so it doesn't freeze you, because if it does, then it gets powerful and it's not going to be very good. Alright, so I think a trap like this should work because I can block the Ice Breath by standing behind the wall portion. And then when he swaps to trying to spit, I should be able to just... There we go. The only problem is I'm not sure if I'm actually deflecting any of this. I don't know if I'm actually hitting him with it. Pretty hard to tell. I'd have to go ahead and use a magnifying glass on him, but that'd be difficult. Might have a shot here if he doesn't start Oh, here we go. Oh. Don't want him to bite me. Come on, buddy. Honestly, Riot Shield would be really nice, just having me have more visibility. Nope. I'll avoid that. Let the wall tank all of it. I've heard of a lot of people doing this. Oh, here we go. Oh. Avoid it. Honestly, I might send my Veil one off to the side and just have it sit down instead of sitting right here. Oh, more ice. Yeah, because if they freeze something, they get more powerful like that. Which actually may work because that is increasing the damage I deal. I'm not really sure how I make the balls hit it though. So they don't seem to hit 100% of the time. In fact, they seem to hit. I've only hit 2 of them, I think, so I'm not really sure how I can guarantee that they actually hit. Oh, here we go. Don't worry about the snail, just worry about me, please. Seems too interested in the snail. I'll just quickly... Oh. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Pull this out. Nope. Ice breath. Alright. There we go. There's one. Nope. Alright, this seems to be working a lot better. Not really sure why it wasn't working earlier. I wonder if it being in a trap has something to do with it. I wonder if the walls are kind of having issues and where he actually is kind of... The game doesn't really know exactly where he is, but this seems to be working a lot better, so... Yeah, this is pretty much just a method, so... I'm gonna keep going here. Hopefully this shield doesn't break too fast. I do have another one just in case, but I would recommend bringing a bunch. And I would recommend bringing the best quality that you have because you're gonna want a bunch of durability. Actually, here, I can check. Yeah, we've already lost a little bit over half, which isn't good. And I would honestly argue I probably haven't even put a dent in this guy's torpor, so... Gonna have to be really careful. But yeah, I think I'm just going to have to go ahead and continue keeping this up and trying to knock him out and hoping that it works. What's going on here? But yeah, so I think I'll bring you guys back when he's knocked out. We can check out the stats and actually finish the taming process. Okay, there we go. It's finally out. Okay, that took forever, and I eventually even had to make some wooden shields, and looks like we have really good damage on this guy, so that's good. But yeah, I would definitely recommend you bring multiple shields, and honestly, if you avoid the actual ice breath instead of the tranquilization bolts, it's actually not too demanding on the durability of your shield, but every single hit from the ice breath, which I don't exactly know how many times it hits you per second, but I'm assuming it's a lot, that'll go ahead and take down your durability. So definitely need to be a little bit careful and make sure that you're trying to avoid that as much as you can. But honestly, really easy taming. It just takes a very, very long time. And of course, now it's just a simple knockout tame. Should be exceptional kibble, but I'm going to have to settle for mutton, so I'm gonna quickly run around, try and find a sheep. But yeah, doing that outside of a trap would definitely be difficult. It's not impossible. You're definitely going to want some form of cover, though, for you to kite around. And definitely have plenty of shields ready, just in case it breaks any of them. And a Veil one would be nice just to help heal you, because you're probably going to end up taking some form of damage, so Veil one's ability to just give you 150 health every, it's like 34 seconds or something, would be really helpful. I definitely use that quite a bit, so I would highly recommend bringing one of those with you, as well as keeping it on defense mode, just to get a little bit more defense for you, and maybe some stimulant and med brews. Med brews, of course, if you don't have a Veil one, but if you do, then you should be fine. And of course, I'd have some sleeping bags or just a normal bed near you, because if you do die, they live in areas where spawn regions are not very close by. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I did struggle a little bit with getting the angle right, and I kind of just found that sometimes if you are going ahead and it is shooting the tranquilization bolts at you, and they're just not hitting, sometimes it's best to just duck behind some cover and then poke back out again. And normally that'll fix it. If they do freeze something, they go into a special, I can't remember what the boost exactly is called. I'm sure we'll go ahead and see it when we go and use him, but it applies, I believe it increases movement speed, as well as it slightly increases damage, and the bolts actually do slightly more damage. I don't know if that actually means that it does more torpor to the cryo, but it probably does, I would assume. So if it does freeze something, try to take advantage of that if you can, because you'll go ahead and apply more torpor. It definitely takes a long time, and they do have a pretty fast torpor drain, so any minute that you're not actively applying torpor, it's going to start waking up. So definitely be careful about that. I highly recommend that you try and bring as many shields as you can, just to go ahead and make sure that you can keep sitting there, and definitely have some way of clearing the area out. I had some vultures that ended up getting involved, but fortunately my Veil one and I were able to take them out pretty fast, but yeah, I just need to quickly go find a sheep so I can get this guy some food, and then we'll give it to him, tame him up, and we can take him out, and maybe I'll go find another. So, I'll bring you guys back when he's all finished taming. There we go. Alright, finally tamed up. Let's see, lost a level because of the mutton, that's okay. There is our dossier, and let's take a look at the stats. Okay. Pretty good combat stats. I'm pretty settled with that, just for getting an imprinted one later on. I'm just gonna pick up the trap, and I quickly want to equip the saddle to see how it looks. Oh, weird. Okay, so we toggle the aiming stance, helps us aim our attacks. Then the Frost Breath is to hold down your primary attack button, so in this case left click. And the Torpor Spit is just to quickly tap it, which will shoot some. And I believe now I will need to go ahead and switch out of eating stance. There we go. Actually, I can just eat snow this way. So then I should be able to just keep spitting. Oh yeah, so this is very similar to the way it worked back on Evolved. Swap out, and we have our basic melee attack, of course, and a cosmetic roar. That's always nice. A little bit concerned about those Veil ones, but we'll be okay. Then let's see. So, okay, that's the backwards. Okay, so that's like the jump it does during the taming one. Oh. Ow. Whoopsies. Went a little bit too far back. And then this activates hyperstate. Normally that only happens when it freezes something, I thought, but maybe they changed it. Let's see. Energize, increase speed, damage, and chilling bite. Okay, so I'm guessing that means that things that I bite will now get slowed. For some reason, I'm going to try it on this Veil one. Hopefully, we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. We're doing a bunch of damage, so... let's see. Yeah, the health is not very good, so definitely not tanky. But their damage seems to be pretty decent. If I remember correctly, though, from Evolved... let me just stop my mana from moving. This is because of the frosting, right? Yeah. How many stacks does it have? Oh, yeah, right. But if I remember correctly, back on Evolved, you used to be able to freeze your own creatures. Oh, why not? I'm on top of snow right now. Why can't I? Oh, because I'm... Never mind. That's awkward. Okay, yes, it does look like I can freeze my own creature, and... Let's see. Defense is significantly increased. Does it remove my movement speed? It really doesn't. Okay. That's actually really good. Having one of these in like a boss fight would be really nice. Actually, just for that armor. Let's just take this off. Hold on, is the buff still there? Yeah. Do that and okay, that was a little bit of a reduction. Maybe like, I don't know. Normal sword hit does 72 damage, and that did around 50, so it cuts off a decent bit of the damage that you do, so I guess it's better than nothing. And the fact that it can be applied rapidly as long as there's snow around could be nice. Of course, number one issue that you have is that you'd have to have a boss that has snow on the ground in order to utilize that. If I remember correctly, from Evolved, the oxygen stat increases how much room you have for the cryo spit. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, there we go. Increases the capacity of the liquid. That's nice that they show that off. Real glad they did that. So yeah, oxygen will increase how much liquid you can hold. So currently we can hold 10. I'm assuming that the more points I put in, the more I can hold. But what I'm really curious to know is if you can use one of these guys to tame another. Now, I found a couple good levels across the map, but I've only found one good level female. So we're going to head over, and I'm going to try and tame it. Let's see, I'm kind of running a little bit short on time, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to tame it the normal way, but I want to try to see, can a cryo be used to help you tame other cryos? Because obviously it takes a very long time to actually knock these guys down. I honestly think I was sitting there for maybe 30 minutes trying to down this guy, so it takes a good chunk of time. So if you can go ahead and use your own to do the spit, that might actually be really helpful. I did put this out. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to quickly head over there, and yeah, it looks like they mostly spawn over here on the mountain in the center of the map. I probably should not have taken this route, but whatever. As well as way over on the far east of the map. Particularly, there's one area we're going to where I found quite a bit of them. It's actually where the female that I'm going to be taming is. So I'll just quickly get us over there, and then we can attempt to tame her up with hopefully the male that we have, and if that doesn't work, I might tame it myself. I think I got time, so yeah, I'll go and try to tame her myself, and hopefully I'll end up being able to do it quickly, but, oh, wait a minute. Just in case, no, only 95, yeah, I'll just go for the other one that I found earlier, so I'll be back when we're over and ready to start taming. Alright, so this is the general area where I end up finding a bunch of them, this forest over here. It's full of all these dead trees, and there's little bits of, I'm assuming that's supposed to be red element in the ground. But yeah, she was somewhere around here, so let's take a look. Oh, actually, that might be her right there. So, 145 female, which obviously not as good as I'd like it to be, but still a pretty decent one to start with. Fortunately, we have another mana here, which could prove to be a little bit difficult to deal with. I managed to freeze it, though. I'm out of stamina. I'm gonna have my Veilwind start helping me out here. Oh, it's 145. Almost feel bad. Okay, yeah, the Cryo is here. I need to be really careful not to get her upset, because I don't want her hitting me. If they're anything like they were from Evolved, they should be able to damage you while you are on your mount. So they can knock you out in, like, one hit. At least they couldn't evolve. I think that they may have nerfed their ability to deal Torpor in the wild, because I ended up kind of getting hit by one. I did get hit through the shield because my shield broke, but it didn't really do too much Torpor to me. I didn't even fall unconscious, so I think that they may have nerfed it. That, or it was simply because the shield broke and that ended up tanking most of it. But yeah, just quickly assemble the trap, and we'll have to convince her to walk in here. I think just to make things easier on me, I'm going to do this, and we can put that over there. Just want to make sure she's still around, that Rex didn't kill her. Let's see. Oh, it might have. That's not great. Hold up, was that? Oh, that's a mana. Yeah, I might have to... Wait, is that her? Yes it is. Okay, perfect. Over here, let's grab her attention. There we go. There's another one right there. We can lead her to the side of the trap. I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if putting a, keeping a mate boosted one nearby would help, because it would increase the, damage. I guess it would also increase the resistance, though, so it probably wouldn't really matter at the end, but I don't know. Just trying to think of any way to make taming these things easier, because I would like to mutate them. I honestly always really liked these things, and I wanted to mutate them back on Evolved, so now that they're finally here in Ascended, which I didn't think they'd be added, because there never was a mod on Ascended for them, and honestly, from what I understood, people really didn't like them that much, so I'm really happy to see them here, and they honestly, they look amazing. I feel like they may have gotten a little bit of a model update instead of just having the old model ported from the old engine to the new engine. They look a little bit different, and honestly, I really like them. But let's see if we can try to get it over here into the trap. A little bit difficult to do it on foot, but I mean, to do it on a mount, but doing it on foot would be incredibly dangerous, as the odds of me getting frozen just way too high, and that Rex is going to be a problem. So I'm going to help out by just trying to freeze it solid. There we go. And we just need it to get into the trap. Oh, it doesn't help that my Veilwind's around here, so I'm just going to send it away. There we go. That hopefully should work. Also doesn't help that there's two of them, and I'm not really sure which one I need to get into the trap and which one I need to try and keep away. Come on. Neither of them are in just yet. Oh, got one. Oh, it ran away. Let's see. Okay, that's the male, so I'm just gonna quickly take him out. You be really careful. Have my Veilwind heal me a little bit. Okay, we did kill it though. Hang on me. You be really careful. I don't want to kill her. Nope, stay back there actually. Come on. Hope my Veil one doesn't end up passing out. Switch targets, please. There we go. Alright. Just carefully line it all up. Get the gate ready, and any minute now, she should be in. Boom. There we go. Okay. She's finally inside, so we should be good to start the process. Gonna make a sleeping bag again real quick just to be safe, and I'm going to grab our male we tamed up. Let's turn on passive just to be safe. Where's my Veil Wind? All the way over there. Just toggle the sit, so hopefully you come over here. Actually, I can probably just do that, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. I gotta be careful because I don't want her to hit me when I hop off to check to see if we're actually doing torpor. Fortunately, because of the gate, though, I have one side that I can protect from being able to hit me. Here. Let's get you behind, and there. That's another mana. I'm gonna quickly go handle that. This is a really dangerous area. Not exactly what I'd like to be taming something like a cryo in, but looks like I don't have much of a choice. Just have to quickly take this guy out. There we go. Alright. Tell the Veil one to sit. Actually quickly heal me first. And hopefully... let's get out of range of that quickly. Let's actually see. Can I just hit it from in here? Don't think so. Alright. Here. No, can you not strafe? Just need to get the aiming spot just right. Seem to be struggling with that part. Wonder if they're just immune to this. Oh, I got hit. Get to the other side. Looks like I'm gonna be okay. I'll just have to keep that open. It's looking like they might be immune to the bolts, though. So yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to use these guys to help with the taming process. I guess that makes sense, but that is going to be a little bit difficult, so yeah, I'll just go ahead and refill the liquid just so he can go ahead and help out if anything goes wrong. And yeah, I will just spend some time trying to knock this one out, and then we'll go ahead and test these guys out when they're mate boosted and hunting together, I guess. And I think I might try and go knock something out with them, so yeah, I'll just quickly tame this one up and be right back. Alright, so I'm back, and the female ended up getting tamed up, and she actually came out with really good health at 49, so that's going to be good enough for me to want to include it in the mutation if I ever decide to go ahead and mutate these guys, which I'd really like to, but honestly, their taming method right now is really hard to do, as it just takes forever. However, I have heard that you can knock them out with more traditional methods, I guess. You don't have to knock them out with reflecting their own tranq bolts, but the only problem is that in order to do that, you have to shoot them with a lot of normal tranquilizing munitions, which is incredibly expensive, and normally they can't actually survive it. So I will have to find some way to get around that. Maybe if I ever get a good long neck, I can try it, and maybe I'll just have to tame the normal way. But it does seem that they are immune to their own torpor spit, so I even went out and tried doing it to one that wasn't in a trap, and it still didn't seem to work. It couldn't even hit my cryo, so it looks like you're not going to be able to go ahead and use these guys to knock other ones out, which is a bit unfortunate. I wish that you could do that. It would make them a lot more helpful, but we're going to go ahead. I have her out just for the mate boost, and I found this 140 Megatheer, and I would like to get a Megatheer to help me farm chitin in the cave, so we're going to just quickly try and knock it out here and see just how much torpor we're able to do with our cryo. I'll just put all 10 shots into it, I think. And let's see just how much torpor that ended up doing. Okay, that got us to about 1,000, so it would only take me 90 shots to knock it down. A little bit more, I guess it would be like 93. And I believe it does scale with damage, so if I put on Hyperstate, that should go ahead and work, as well as if I were to just increase my damage altogether through leveling it. So, yeah, these guys are pretty useful for knocking things out, and I would honestly highly recommend them. But they are a little bit difficult to tame, so I'd say probably try to get a pair of good ones, but after that, you probably don't need to do too much more. Trying to get the absolute best stats possible might be a little bit too much to ask. Make sure these mammoths aren't going to cause a problem here. I really don't want to lose this female and that good stat. That would be really bad, so come on, guys. I just realized I could probably also set my Veilwind to offensive and give that, and yeah, we'll do a little bit more damage. It's not much, but every little bit will help. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna quickly down this guy, and I'll just let him tame up outside, but I think I'm gonna end the episode after we down this guy. But I just want to see how effective they're gonna be at this, and maybe we can take them over to those trikes over there. I don't know, I don't really want to risk them, so I don't think I'm actually going to go hunting with them like I originally planned at the start. I wasn't actually thinking I'd get some decent stats, so yeah. But I'm glad these things are back in the game. I really like these things in Survival Evolved, and I honestly really was upset when they didn't have a mod for them for Survival Ascended. So the fact that they're back is really exciting, and honestly, it couldn't have been more perfect time. Not only is this map, obviously, it's a very Arctic-based map, but it actually is supposed to take place in Antarctica, which is where the Cryolophosaurus was actually found, so yeah, really exciting to have these guys back, and they have a utility that I think would be really nice. I think there should be more creatures aimed at helping you tame other creatures. And of course, having a creature that actually just does torpor is a nice way of doing that, but I do think there should be some other options, like maybe creatures that make things weaker to torpor, or go ahead and, I don't know, other ways to help with the taming process, because I think that that'd be really helpful. As someone who tames a lot of stuff, because I like having really good stats when I go to mutate something, it'd be really nice if creatures were a little bit, you know, more oriented to help you tame other creatures. At least have one or two of them out there. So the cryo definitely helps a little bit, but could be a little bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna need to go ahead and breed these guys together so I can go ahead and get an imprinted one that I can use for whatever I decide to use it for, and then I can go ahead and put a lot more points in the damage to help knock things out better. Fortunately, most of the things that I plan on taming to mutate, I don't think they're going to be knockout tames, is I'm really looking at just getting Veilwinds, Asidons, Cryos, and I'd like to be able to do the dragon. I still can't remember its name, I'm sorry, but I'd like to do those four, as those are really the only creatures that are new to Lost Colony. I say that because the Soulwind and Malwind are technically the Veilwind, just depending on how you want to evolve it. So I will go ahead and mutate Veilwind so I can evolve them into Soulwinds and Malwinds and go ahead and compare them. I'd like to actually do that pretty soon, but there's a couple other things that I have that I want to do before then. Um, Looks like we mostly got... Yeah, this is a pretty bad Megathera, I'm gonna be honest, but... Oh, well, it's fine. I mean, honestly, a Megathera, no matter what its stats are, is going to be overkill for farming chitin in a cave. I mean, they're specifically designed to take out insects, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, I'm really glad to have these guys in the game now, and honestly, they look absolutely amazing. I think they did a really good job with bringing these guys into the new engine. They look absolutely fantastic, and I like that the saddle has some fur on it. I think that was really nice. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and get these guys since we got 2 saddles for them in the last episode when we were taming the Desmodus, and I found that loot crate. And I decided may as well go ahead and tame some of them. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely a little bit difficult, and it definitely tested my patience. I mean, I had to sit there for, I'd say, 30 minutes trying to knock them out, and then it's 30 minutes for them to tame up, at least for me, with my tame rates. So, yeah, it takes a long time, and it definitely pushes my patience, but yeah, I'd like to think that they're worth it in the long run, but we'll see how I feel about actually going ahead and mutating them. It might be a lengthy process, but seeing that I already have one of the stats down, and honestly, I'd almost be willing to allow the 43 to be allowed, but I think I'm gonna try and get better, as I'd really like to meet my normal quota of 46 in a stat. But yeah, I guess that's probably all that I have for this episode. I'll have to go find mutton for that sheep eventually, so I think I'll just stop over here so I can go put these guys away. And yeah, here it is. Just built this thing in, and I'll have to go ahead and repair those. And this is actually the Theria I ended up taming. It did come out with good damage, so I might end up mutating Theries too, so who knows. There's a lot I gotta get done, and I don't really know when the next expansion's supposed to be, so I don't know how much time I have, but yeah, a lot of stuff that I want to get done here on Lost Colony, and I'm probably being a bit over ambitious, so hopefully I can get as much of it done as I can, but it's definitely going to be a lot of work. So anyway, that's going to be it for this one. So thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.